Humanity is on the brink of change. There are dire threats to human beings in many directions, from the warming of the climate due to the greenhouse gases, the pollution of plastics, the pollution of air, water, earth. There is in this world a crisis, but because it is not an immediate crisis, because it is not confrontational in the moment, it does not signal to many people the need for action. It signals to the intellect, the people calling out, wait, look, there's a problem. But for people who go out their door and don't notice the problem, it doesn't strike home. And if it's one hurricane or one flood, we have floods from time to time. Still, it doesn't strike home because it's not a part of the daily life. Until the problem becomes so obvious that it is very difficult to ignore. Many human beings will ignore it. The politics that are driving forces not only in the United States, but in many regions of the world, are politics of division. There are those who would cling to the old ways and attempt to control and gain power in order to secure ideologies that attempt to ignore the crises that face humanity. The politics are not necessarily what is traditionally known as conservatism, meaning the conservation of financial and other resources to take a slow path, a measured path. No, this is not that. This is the conservatism of power, the desire to consolidate power, the desire to rebuild what has been in a world in which it is impossible to build that. But because it appeals to the psyche of many individuals, such power-mongering figures can become very popular. Throughout the globe, this is happening. In the face of dire warnings and in the face of change, many want to return to what was. They want the security of what they had. And so they move back to the past. And they elect politicians who they feel will reflect their need to preserve what has been, whether it be racial superiority, racial divisions, the dominance of men, the attitude to the environment of being conquerors, that we can take what we want. All of this underlies these politics of power. and brings the support of a percentage of the people, hoping that such individuals can rescue them from the fears of change and deterioration they see around them. They want a safe economy. They want it as it was. But it is changing. Women are coming into power. It is changing. The racial makeup of the world is becoming mixed, and of the United States in particular. It will no longer be a strictly white-dominated country, and there are those who want to cling to this, to the point of criticizing math books. This is the reaction of fear. And when people are afraid, they want strong leaders. They want people who are powerful. And so dictators become more appealing to people. Men of power who have traditionally dominated the world. And they hope this will bring them that protection. The issue of abortion has been a long-standing controversy, not only in the United States, but in many countries. But you will notice those countries who have taken away the rights of women to make their own decisions about their bodies have also become countries where they have oppressive regimes. They do not tend to be well-functioning democracies because such actions against women are the result of patriarchy and the dominance of strong men. They are political moves to oppress a large portion of humanity. Regarding the ethics of abortion, it can even be said that contraception inhibits the natural process of forming life. And abortion cuts that life from developing. Therefore, in an entirely natural world, all pregnancies, all joinings of men and women that resulted in pregnancies would come to fruition. And the world would be much more populated. In a world where we cannot maintain even the population that we have today. So, life is indeed precious. The lives of women, the lives of families, the lives of babies are precious. But quality of life is also a variable. Let it be said that to abort a child that is unwanted and will not have quality of life is to forego and relieve suffering. Time, place, and person. This is not a world that needs more and more babies born into poverty and distress to families that cannot survive. This is a world that cares about each individual. The world that is forming is a world of care. No one is simply a forgotten human to simply be born and uncared for. This is not the world we are choosing. And it is a world where the rights and power of women is emerging. Therefore, this to control the bodies of women from a political view by patriarchs is to oppress women in a most fundamental way, and surely will lead both to the deaths of women and to children who will suffer greatly in their lives. It is not for the benefit of living beings. It is for oppression that such laws are being put in place. There are those who in their religious beliefs feel strongly for the lives of the babies. Their views are sincere, but they should feel strongly for the care of those babies, that they have all their needs met, and that they are given food, clothing, shelter, education, and a rich life loved by parental figures. They should ensure that they have the quality of life, not simply to breathe the air. There is another principle involved. When a government chooses to intervene in the family, there are ramifications. There are many different types of habits that have come in the society. There are societies in China and India where the killing of baby girls, the murder of infants born, has caused disproportions in the number of men and women. And this has caused personal suffering in the lives of many people. There have been attempts to control population through having rules to only have one child, not banning abortion, but demanding it. They have not gone well. They have led to suffering. Human life is precious. To take a human body, to receive a human body, is a precious gift. But it is no gift if that life is a burden of survival and misery. Today, we stand on the brink of change. In a world beginning to face upheaval, the winds of change cannot be stopped. What has been will not be. What will be is unavoidable. The war is a war not between people, but between the forces of fear and the forces of vision and love. Fear and love are always choices in human life. You can choose to follow your fear, choose to follow on a deep level, the avoidance of reality because it does not appeal. You can choose to follow fear and try to run from what is. Or you can choose to face the situation at hand, to find love, to find compassion, to find the strength to go forward in the process of change, with vision of a better world. Each day is a new day, a new beginning. Each day is a bright opportunity to make the changes you want to make. Forget your past. Forget any thoughts of what you have been or what you have done wrong or right. And live afresh each moment, being what you truly want to be, dedicating yourself to the welfare of all beings and positive change in this world. True morality is not governed by any sense of religious principles or dogmas. It comes from an innate love of living beings and compassion for the welfare of all beings. That is all beings, of humans of all races, humans of all nationalities, and those beings who are in non-human form. Some feel it is important to accept those of all races and cultural or ethnic backgrounds, but they forget the pigs and the horses and the cows, the cats and the dogs, the chickens. They are also living beings. This earth must be nurtured. Together, all beings of good intent will find a way. There is a new dawn. The sun has already risen on that new dawn. But in this rising sun, there are long shadows. They will lessen with time, and a new way will come for humanity. All right.